guys, it's Bree and Anita here with Simply Stevens. We wanted to do things a little bit different with you. We're going to share some info on some slides with you guys, a question we have been getting asked constantly, almost every day. And so
every day
we're going to break it down for you guys, give you some stats and information. And then obviously, if you guys have any questions about it, you can call us after.
How do you like that blue little pointer there we got going?
That's right.
We do get asked this a lot, and I know you guys have heard us talk about it a lot. So we actually are going to share our screen and actually show you some stats to give some knowledge behind what we've been telling you.
Yes. And so here is the question. Are we in a housing bubble?
And are we heading for a housing bubble?
And is the housing bubble about to pop?
Yes. Or are we just going into a bubble and people are waiting for it to pop?
Right.
I hear it on the seller side with people saying, you know, our home value is going to quit going up, or are they going to fall? Mainly people worried about whether their value is going to fall. And what do you usually hear?
Buyers are concerned of buying right now because they're afraid they're going to end up upside down on homes because they're buying at such high, prices right now that when prices drop, they're going to end up upside down on their mortgage.
Yes. And I also hear people say to you all the time too, they're going to wait and not buy until houses
I'm waiting
drop.
for the prices to drop.
Waiting for the bubble to pop and houses
Yeah.
to drop. So we're going to show you a little bit about what that really looks like.
And why we're not
in a housing
heading
bubble.
towards or about to pop a housing bubble.
That's right. So this is the difference between last time when the bubble hit versus this time. So if you guys have a little bit of age and wisdom on you, so not maybe some of our first time home buyers, you'll remember whenever the crash happened back, you could see where it started to happen in 2004 and it started getting really bad. Really, it happened 2007, 2008. This is the amount of inventory that we had on the market at the time. You guys have heard us say over and over 6 months is about its market. So 6 months worth of inventory is great for buyers, great for sellers. Back when the crash happened, we had so much inventory on the market. We had 9.6 months worth of inventory on the market.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if you look, we have 0.7.
Less than a month.
Less than a month. And you guys, it is rough. That's why you've heard us talk about the bidding wars. You've heard us say this before. But that's why the absorption rate would be so fast. If people just started flooding the market, it would actually kind of be good for some of the buyers that are out there fighting for homes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one big point of why this is different than last time and not a housing bubble.
Yep.
This next slide shows you also where we were in foreclosures back then. So the amount of foreclosures that were on the market 2007, 2008, 2009, you see across there were 2.8 million foreclosures happening at that time. So people were not able to get rid of their homes. You know, they put their home on the market, try to sell it as a fire sale before a foreclosure would hit. They couldn't do it because the market was flooded, kind of like what we said a while ago.
Too much inventory.
9 months worth of inventory.
Right.
You wait till you got 1 month left to sell your home. That's not going to really happen. So you can see the difference right now. The foreclosure rate is way, way lower. That was Q1 of 2022, only 78,000 homes. Because right now, really, you can put your home on the market and in a weekend have multiple offers.
Sell it.
So people were in financial need of doing that. And by the way, if you are in a situation where you need to sit down, maybe you might have lost your job due to pandemic or something like that, and you are thinking, I might need to talk about selling my home and pulling that equity out because it's amazing equity right now, we'd be happy to help talk through that with you. We're not going to force you to say, hey, you need to put it on the market or not. We'll just give you the information and see how we can help.
The options. So the third reason is that lending standards have tightened exponentially since then, due to a lot of the crash and the housing bubble that they had. So in 2004, 05, 06, 07, they were lending at a very high level to credit scores under 620. So almost 375 billion loans that were at credit scores under 620, which now is almost a standard. You have to be above 620. There are certain instances where you can be below that and still get loans. However, when they tightened this is where we are now, that less than 100 billion loans nationally are under that 620 mark. And so that just helps to have more stable financing in the market. And then also, fourth reason here was the amount of equity that had been cashed out during refinances. And so as you can see down here, 2004, 2006, 2008, so right here around that time, the amount of equity that had been cashed out of homes, which then obviously in turn makes your mortgages higher, your loan amount that you owe on the home higher, which just helped add to all of these things. Oh, went to the wrong slide. Was at an all-time high back during the crash. And
also too, lenders were allowed to loan up to like 90-95% of your equity, which now they don't do that.
You can't go higher than 80.
Yeah. So, you know, that you still have to have that 20% buffer in there. So what was happening, people were cash out refining, they were pulling out almost all of their equity, and they were throwing their closing costs and stuff on top of that. So really that almost put them at 100% of their value. So that's why then when there were just a slight little change in the market, then boom.
Yep. And then now we're less than half of that. We're at 48 billion cash out when refinancing, which the past few years, people have started to capitalize on lots of equity. Like Anita was just saying, there is a lot of equity in homes because values have gone up. And so people are using that money to do those home renovations and updates on their kitchens and bathrooms and all of those things. So we've started to see more of that lately, and yet we're still less than half of where we were at the time.
Yeah. So right now, this actually was a staggering percent. I thought I was a little surprised by this.
Me too.
58.7%. So all homes in America have 60% equity in America. So that's pretty amazing. 58% of homeowners in America have 60% equity in their home. Good job, America. I mean, that's pretty good. Some people might think, well, no, that's not really good, but that's almost 60%. Homeowners have,
that's great.
Yeah, have 60% equity in their home. That's great. Yeah. So 37% of all homes are owned free and clear.
Which is really,
I'd like to be in that bucket.
Me too.
I'll be in that bucket one day. 177,000 is the average equity of homes, what people have in their mortgage right now. Now, of course, this is a national average. So here in Georgia, that is a little different, but that's the national average right now. That's amazing. That goes to what we were talking about equity people have in their homes.
Yep.
So that is some stats for you guys. We wanted just to show you, because here's the thing, and I think we talked about this in a video, probably a video or two ago, how you're going to hear that things are changing and shifting. It doesn't mean that home values are up here and they're going to do this. It just means home values are not going to keep going whoo, like that. They're going to level off. They're going to still increase.
Yes. You
know, we've been increasing, as you've heard us say, 23%, 25%. Over the past year in gain. That is not normal. 4% is what the normal over time has been. So even if we drop to 10% gain in equity, that's still gaining. That's not a housing bubble that's going to drop and all of a sudden everybody's home values are going to go down. So if you're a homeowner or seller out there worried, don't worry, home values would be good for the market to balance out a little bit.
And if you're a buyer, you're still making a great investment because home values are still expected to appreciate at least 6%, between 6 and 10% in the next 12 months. So either way, it's still the best investment that you can be making, especially if you're really focused on trying to build long-term wealth.
And if I could say something to the young homeowners out there, the young buyers that are looking, if you're waiting for home values to come down, they're not going to come down right now in the foreseeable future. And of course, we don't have a crystal ball. And if there was some other major thing like a pandemic or something, you know, nobody saw that coming.
Just go up.
Yeah, they did. But the thing that is going to change is interest rates. And interest rates are going up. So if you've been sitting on the fence and you're thinking, I need to buy my first home, also the issue is rents have soared.
Rent is something that has never gone down. Even in the crash, rental rates have always increased and will continue to increase. And
they're having a shortage too.
And it's just as hard to find a rental. Either way, you're paying for a house. It's just whether it's yours or your landlord's.
I was going to say the same thing. We just saw that last week. We're like, that is good.
Yeah.
So you're paying for a home. Is it going to be your home or your landlord's home? So if you're waiting for those prices to go down, we don't see it happening. It's time to move and get going because the rates are going to continue to go up and it changes what you can afford to purchase. All right, that's it, guys. Hopefully you found this information, something that y'all can grasp and see what's going on with the market. If you do want to check out how much equity you have in your home, reach out. We'll be happy to do a free equity analysis for you and show you how much equity you have in your home. If you are thinking about buying and need to figure out, oh goodness, what are the rates? What can I afford? Do I need to be making a move now? Give us a call. Bree will connect with you and give you all that info. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.